Hello, today we are going to be painting the sea turtle. First things first, you are going to want to navigate your paint colors. You're going to want to put all of your paint colors on the plate in a circle like this, leave room in the center, and you're going to put all of your colors except for black. The first thing you're going to do with the wet brush is pick up some of this light blue, some white, and you're actually going to get some of that blue on the other side, not the teal color, but just pretend I picked up some blue. With water, you're going to do really light brush strokes in a diagonal direction on the background. But these can go over the pencil lines of the turtle because this paint, because it has so much water in it, is see-through, so we won't lose our pencil lines. So you're going to want to do diagonal brush strokes with blue, light blue, and a little bit of white. Now, if you look, I'm just grabbing tiny bits of these colors, mostly of the light blue, tiny bits of the color. And once again, we're not going to be using teal, we'll be using that blue color. So diagonal brush strokes all the way across. You're going to want to add more dark blue to your brush when you get to the bottom areas of the canvas. Once you get the front of the canvas done, don't forget the sides. Always clean your brushes out in between colors or steps really well. Clean those brushes out. You're going to mix lime green with a little bit of green and a tiny bit of white to get this color. So your turtle will already have the shell drawn in. I had to draw mine in. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the teal color and we're going to paint the inside of the shell pieces, except we're not going to paint all the way to the line. You're going to leave a little bit of a white space where the pencil lines are. If you just watch this thoroughly before you start painting, you'll see what I mean. Okay, paint all of your shell pieces teal, leaving those white lines in between, and poof, this is what it'll look like. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to take white paint and give the bottom of the canvas a little bit of a wavy line. This is the bottom of the ocean. It's kind of sand. It's actually going to be where our coral lives, and we want to paint it white first. After we've painted it white, we're going to put in these little coral shapes. The fun thing about coral is it's kind of all kinds of shapes and colors and things like that. So I did these little circles in white, and then I brought these tubes down a little bit into the other part of the white, and I made about 5 of those, and then I let everything dry. We're moving on to yellow. We're going to paint the sand area. I guess, like I said, it's not really sand, it's coral. But the base is yellow. Look at the original picture and you'll see where the yellow is. You're going to paint all of that yellow and then you're going to let it dry. We're going to move back up into the turtle's body and do some outlining. All right, this sounds weird, but I want you to mix a little of that dark purple and some of the teal, and then I want you to go ahead and line all of those white areas that have been unpainted in the shell with this mix. It's going to look mostly purple, but we want to add that teal to it to make it a little more opaque and a little less purpley. So this is the fun part. We're going to start mixing some colors. So the next color we work with is a little bit of that blue, not the light blue, the medium shade of blue, and some of that lavender. So it makes a nice periwinkle. And we're going to go in and we're going to start giving our turtle some accent marks. If you look at the original, the whole body of the turtle is pretty much made up of accent marks. So you're just going to go in with some lines or some dashes and you're going to put them a little bit everywhere. I would definitely try to follow along with me and put them on the legs, the head, and the shell as I do. I don't think I start working on the shell until a little bit later in the video, but just follow along. Next, we're going to do accent marks on the turtle's arms, legs, and head with teal. Now we're going back down to the bottom, and in that yellow area, we're going to pick up some of that lime color. And we're going to make it a little limey, but also give it some texture. You're going to make that area down there, that sandy coral area, textured with this lime color. You're going to take some brush strokes and make them wavy and let it dry a little bit and then go back in and make some a little more wavy. If you have too much lime, you can always add a little more yellow and just keep doing that until you get a funky little texture. And once again, I remind you to look back at the original. Now we're going to move on to the orange. So I want you guys to fill in your little coral shapes with orange. If you paint in the direction of the shape, it'll help it. So paint circular in the tops because we painted those circles, and then paint with line brushstrokes in the body, and that will help your coral look like coral in the end. So get all of those covered up in orange. Now we're going to pick up little bits of that crimson color, which is kind of the reddish looking color, and we're going to work some of that crimson color into the tops of the coral. Okay, the next step is going to be the crimson color spiky coral pieces. You might want to mix a little bit of that pink or a little bit of white with this. Don't mix it beforehand, just have a little bit on your brush. And you're just going to go through the whole bottom portion of this among the orange and the yellow, and you're just going to give it a whole bunch of spikes. Now, something happened with my video and it stopped, and so it's going to be completed here in a second, just like that. So the things that I did was I added some green seaweed, and I think I go ahead and I show you what I skipped. So you're going to do the seaweed there, and this is the teal color, seaweed there, and then I did little tufts of seaweed to fill in around the bottom. So you go straight from doing the crimson color to the seaweed, and then you take some of that crimson color and you give yourself some lines on the orange, and then we're going to be good to go to the next portion. All right, this is the fun part. This is where we're going to go ahead and take all kinds of fun colors, and we're just going to dabble them in all over the shell and the legs and the head. I'm starting with a pink. You're going to take some of that crimson color, some of the pink, maybe a little bit of white. All the colors that go on the shell have to have a little bit of white in them, otherwise they're not going to show up. So same thing as before, just little bits of brushstroke wherever you'd like, but reference this video and the original. And you're gonna do the pink, and then you're gonna work on some of that periwinkle color that we made before. You'll probably have to make some more, and then yellow, and then some light orange. Add a little bit of white to that orange, and then some lime. You're gonna add a little bit of white to that lime green, and you're just gonna have fun with it. Now I've added a little bit of white. Typically I wait till the very end to add white, so you guys can wait to the end to add white. I added a little bit in the background. I'm adding a little bit on the shell, but then I decided to go back in with some light pink instead of just the dark pink. And I think this is a time I also add some of that lime green. But then of course I went back into the white. So just have fun with it. The white really makes it pop in the end, and don't go too far. Just keep working on it till you think it is where it needs to be. I think I went back and I decided I needed a little more purple, and then I added a little more white. Okay, this final part is you're going to take your smallest brush and you're going to take some black, and you're going to make a circle where you want the eye. And then you're going to fill in that circle. So here I am getting the shape of the circle. I get to where I would like it. I fill it in, pick up some more black. I make the smile. I decide where the smile is going to end past the eyeball. And I just give it a nice little boop. And then you're going to add the little smile mark at the very end of it. There we go. Clean your brush out really, really well, because the next color we use is white. And you're going to take a little bit of white and you're just going to touch it into that black eye. However much you want. I think a little dab goes a very long way. Oh, that's looking perfect. He's got a little glint in his eye. And don't forget to sign it. I'm going to use white. I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure I cut my signature off at the bottom. So, but down in the corner, oh, you can see it. There we go. There's my signature, AF. Don't forget to sign it when you're done, guys. Have fun.